that Governor Atiyeh was a great advocate for fish and wildlife resources, for acquiring the Lower Deschutes for public access and wildlife management. And that's an area that you all expanded on 2 years ago as we acquired the Lower Deschutes River Ranch and an additional 11,000 acres added to that wildlife management area. So
the fly rod came up for sale at Oregon Wildlife or Oregon Wildlife Heritage Foundation, and we cabbaged onto it. And there was 4 of us. We scurried around, and we didn't want to go to someone who didn't really understand the history of it and the individuals that were behind that. So we gathered it up, and of course it was already on the auction block, so it was a public auction, and by auction rules you have to put that out to the public for auction. And so we had a pledge of $7,000 for that fishing rod. And they let me speak to the audience that night, and then we opened it up for auction. And the 4 people that were involved in it were pretty serious about making sure that that fishing rod and the legacy of Governor Atiyeh and natural resources would be met. And that night, no one bid against us. And so we made sure that it would be put on display here at the Department of Fish and Wildlife here in the commission room. Director Melcher made that pledge, and certainly, as you can see, he held to his word. And let me tell you a little bit about how the Oregon Wildlife Foundation, or as I still call it, the Oregon Wildlife Heritage Foundation, came about. The shark property on the Lower Deschutes River was coming up for sale. Governor Atiyeh knew about it. He loved to recreate on the Deschutes River and fish. And so he and Pat Amadeo, who was his natural resource advisor for the governor's office, were sitting talking about how they could come together with some type of means to purchase that lower section of the Deschutes for the state of Oregon. About that time, Ken Clarquist came in. He was a commissioner for Department of Fish and Wildlife at the time, and they started talking about it. And so Ken says, we should create a foundation so we can get money donated so that we can eventually purchase that property. And that's how it started. And you have the product of all those efforts by being able to access the Deschutes River as we do today. And I think you'll see in the display that Governor Atiyeh was directly involved in that, had his hand on it all the time. With that, we used to check Governor Atiyeh fishing on the river. This is when I was with State Police Fish and Wildlife Enforcement. In fact, Captain Samuels checked him a number of times up above the lock gate, up in the Deschutes Club area. He was always wanting to know, how are things going? What's the resource like? What's the population levels? When do we see another run of salmon or steelhead? What's the counts, upriver on the Deschutes? The gentleman was involved in his work, and that comes from personal experience. So I think it's fitting that Director Melcher said, we'll put it up in the commission room. There it is. Learn about it. Learn about what we need to continue to do for our fish and wildlife resources in Oregon. I think it's a statement and testament to an obligation for what's good for our fish and wildlife resources today.
Hi everyone, I'm Tom Atiyeh, Governor Atiyeh's son, and I know he'd be very, very proud to see this display here. Not only does it honor him, but it's very informative. and the public is going to get a lot of good information from it. And just wanted to thank everybody, and particularly Oregon Wildlife Foundation, and thanks, Jim. Thank you, guys.
And I just want to make a comment. Many of us have worked on public education over the years, and it was a great idea to have that visible from both sides.